Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Freeman Files here on the J-Free 906 podcast channel. Tom Burns, Seth Bridges with us tonight. How you guys doing?
Doing super, thanks. Super.
Super
Stellar,
thanks.
even.
Oh, I gotta move this over a little bit.
Super.
Super. Oh man, another good episode last night, was it not?
I thought it was fantastic.
I thought it was great.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I was really excited with it. Some stuff. I'm glad to see him back over a lot 5 a little bit. That was cool too.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, folks, for joining us here tonight. We appreciate it very much. And as I always say, if you haven't already, we'd really like if you'd consider subscribing to the channel. And also, if you like the content of the show we do for you here tonight, consider giving us a thumbs up. That helps a lot. Any comments after the show is done being live, it always helps as well. I know a lot of people jump in there with questions and comments and all that kind of stuff. We appreciate it. Tom and I, we read them all. Seth, I don't know what he does. He's got a family. He's busy all the time. But Tom and I
That's
read
got a life. That's got a life.
He's not retired, whatever. So
It's amazing how many people actually go in there and put in comments and suggestions. And
I know.
And they're good.
And they're usually very good. I tell you, we've gotten a lot of good, people come up with ideas. Like one I'm going to talk about tonight a little bit. A gentleman emailed me, and my email address is down at the bottom description of the show. You can go down there and see a way to contact me. I do my best to read them right away and respond, but sometimes I read it and go, oh yeah, I got to look into something here and respond to that. And then a couple days go by and I'm like, oh, I never responded to that. So I apologize for that.
You wind up going down so many different rabbit holes.
It's so true. Oh, hype. Yes. Thank you, Linda. I appreciate it. Linda's reminding me there's a new feature on YouTube now. When you go to do a like or something, it won't let me do it because it's my own show, but there is a hype button when you go to do a like. Is that where it is, Linda? Or Tom, or anybody that's done
It's down in the bar where you can ask questions or like, dislike. Yeah, but there's a button there that says hype.
Yeah, I see. I think when Christina did, he had to scroll over to get to it and see it, but it says
depending
hype
on the size of the screen you're using. Yes, like I know on my phone I have to move it over, but on my laptop it's right there.
Yeah. So if you would consider giving us a hype for the tonight, for the show tonight, and just say Shard. So Shard. Well, that's what we should call it, Shard.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's so funny. Anyway, all right. So we're going to be talking about the Curse of Oak Island, episode number 19 of season 13, Axis of Medieval. And I was like, where are they going to go in the show tonight to get that name? Well, we finally got it. I finally, as the show went on, and we finally got the reason why they called it that. So we'll get to that here in just a moment. I wanted to talk also real quick about the giveaway for tonight. I think I can add stage. There it is right there. It is a signed picture of Marty Lagina. And there's a certificate of authenticity with it. And then there are some Mari Vineyard wine glasses also. So, and they got I don't know, you couldn't see it very well, but they got the Mari Vineyard MV on there, if you've noticed that on Marty's shirts that he wears in the war room sometimes. So the big videos get a 10 to 100,000 hype points. Oh boy. Yeah, well, I'd be lucky to have anybody that you would like to hype it. I appreciate all of it, believe me, as we go along. So it helps to get the word out there, because we so often, as Tom and I were talking about, answering the comments and stuff like that, is that so many people have said nice things about what we do here and how we try to do our very best to go through each episode, dig into it, have guests like Fiona on last week. We had Fiona Steele on last week. Good grief. I mean, that was awesome in itself. But, and we're very, very honored to have someone of her stature come on to the show with us. And it's really, really fun. And she will be back, by the way, too. But anyway, so we have people that comment and say, how much they appreciate coming to watch. And I tell you what, we appreciate each and every one of you to come and watch the show with us and hang out and listen to us. And the comments and all that are great. We appreciate it. So, all right. So, then we're going to do that giveaway a little bit later in the show, and we'll talk about that as we get there. So let's dive into it, shall we?
Let's go.
All right. Yeah, I do have pictures. I got a couple, like I normally do, and this time I'll try to do my best to make sure when I'm talking about it, I'm actually displaying it
I didn't want to bring that up as soon as
Well,
you
you
did.
create such a picture with your words.
with my words. I
Yeah.
know, right? Isn't that? Yeah. That's
Picture it, an island off the coast of Nova Scotia.
I know. I wish I could say it like he does. I mean, Robert Clotworthy. You know, that's
Mhm.
a great. And I have to say too that, and we'll get to it as we go along here, but Robert's been on the show too. I had Robert Clotworthy on the show way back, like
Oh, wow.
4 years ago or something, right? It was an awesome show. He's a great guy. I really like him a lot. But and folks, you know, you might get tired of the narration, but Robert is reading what's put in front of him. Okay, he has his style. You know his style. Same thing on Ancient Aliens. You know, he does that show too. So go ahead.
I never get tired of his voice. He has such an iconic voice. Yeah.
It used to be a lot of could it be, could it be, could it be. He doesn't say that much anymore.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, we there's a lot less could it be's and a lot more ahas.
Yeah. Well, it's like Gary. You know, every time Gary finds something now, it's woohoo! What do we got here? Every time.
Yeah,
and then
it's
you go to
from it's gone from could it be? Is this for real?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I know, right? We're gonna have to come up with some of those little catchphrases that they like to top pocket find and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, I love this picture here. You know, I usually do display a picture, the opening scene picture of the Oak Island area there, and this one is just beautiful. Looking at Oak Island from the north or the east, I guess, kind of looking at it from the east here. But what a awesome shot that is right there. That's really cool. I love that. Hype is available after the podcast is over. Not available. Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh,
did not know that.
Yeah, I was looking on my phone. I thought, well, I can't find it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah, once it's over, you know,
Yeah.
go back and
Okay.
It has to be posted on YouTube for you to hype it.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. All right. Well, thank you for that. All right. So we're jumping over here to lot 8, and again, and that's kind of what I set the tone for tonight's show, the thumbnail, and everything about lot 8, because I'm telling you, folks, this is a big deal. This lot 8 feature, they are still to this day. Here we are in March. They're still very excited about this feature here. Have they got it figured out? I don't know yet, but they're still very excited about it. We do know that. So it's a huge deal. And you see the team coming over here, and they're getting ready they're talking with Fiona. And you know, I'm gonna throw this out to Tom. When they walked over and Fiona got talking, what was one of the first things she said about removing rocks down in there?
They were on layer number 3.
Number 3.
Yeah. I thought there was one layer, or just, you know, a conglomerate of stones sort of pasted or cemented, concreted, mortared around it. Yeah. When she said she just removed the 3rd layer, I'm going like, what the heck?
Yeah, exactly. And here it is right here. Yeah. So once I removed that 3rd layer of rocks, we came across a substance which was like mortar.
So there's 3 layers of rocks in there, and then they get to the mortar.
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. So I mean, you're talking about these rocks that are, and we looked at some of this last week, and we saw, you know, Rick down on his hands and knees, and he was yanking and pulling on that one rock to dislodge it, get it out of there for her, and it would not budge. I mean, this thing would not budge, and it's just been, you know, mortared into place.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's solid. Yeah.
And that's crazy. That's, that's why I say this is such a big deal, because why would somebody go through all this effort? You hear me say that a lot, talking about Nolan's Cross or some of the other features that we find on the island. But this one here, it's like, why would they go through all that trouble to do this in the first place, unless it was to hide something or cover something very important? Whether it be a grave site that some people have suggested, or a tunnel entrance, or a ventilation shaft, or maybe just a simple hole in the ground that they buried some treasure on before. What better way to keep people from finding your treasure by putting a boulder over it. Who's going to be able to move that? What drawbers are going to be able to move that boulder, or even want to pull it up aside anyway, to look under it? So that's pretty. And Fiona had an interesting thing to say about that, because I was talking last week when she was here about all these features. There must be big boulders like this. We know there's the ones in Nolan's Cross, right? We know there's other ones around the island. Could this be repeated somewhere else underneath another boulder on the island somewhere?
Yep. More reason to get that LiDAR back up there and find those other boulders.
Yeah, that's a good point, Jan. You could, if it's a ventilation shaft, I mean, you can just throw a bunch of rocks. You don't need to move that big of a boulder and then, seal it up too. I mean, but I don't know. It's maybe, anyways, it's
yeah, no, that's absolutely right. That's so true. And if it's a ventilation shaft, unless it was, I don't know. It looked like there was some burn. I cannot wait until we get the analysis of the material underneath those. How many bags of those big Ziploc bags do we see leaving that area? That I want to get that analysis. And
they keep saying they keep finding organics, and we know they found charcoal mixed in with some of the cement, mortar, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you look at the picture right here. That looks like mortar to me.
Yeah, I know. The end of the episode, we get to potential one form of dating the site, but I'm really excited for kind of what Ian Spooner's dating of the site comes to, if it's similar to the road and other parts of the.
Yeah. By the way, Jan, who did the donation there, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Jan Slutsky, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I really do appreciate you all helping to support the show, because it does cost to do this. So
I like Alex's comment. Is the size of this rock a representation of the significance? I think so, right? Like, I mean, that's kind of, you're not just going to put any rock. You're going to move
you were marking that.
If you 20 ton.
If you were just going to fill a hole in and bury it and didn't want anybody to ever find it again, you wouldn't put a boulder on it.
Exactly. No, I don't think so. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You just bury it.
Yeah. So the significance of that boulder, and we are starting to learn, and we're working with, I should say Tom and Henry, and there's a few other people. There's some folks from Dot to Dot are working on some alignment stuff, and Tom and Henry are working on alignment stuff of some of these different markers that they've talked about on Oak Island, and how this particular boulder may falls into
play, and also where these directional lines take you off the island.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, when Colin
in a couple of different directions.
Yes, I know. That's what I was just going to say, because we got our man on the scene, Colin. Well, when the weather changes and he gets his boat in the water, Colin Jameson has got a little bit of looking around to do.
We've got a list.
Yeah, we got a list of some other islands maybe that may fall into play. The alignment stuff is easy enough for me to grasp. The star alignment stuff, now that gets a little harder for me to wrap my brain around, but we'll get to that too as we go on tonight. But yeah, Oliver and Michael from Dot to Dot, good stuff that they have, and I've been talking with both of them lately, and it's really interesting what they've got. We'll see how this pans out here in the future, but with all of that. So, hi everyone, we're looking at the Oak Island dinosaur egg nest. I like that. I'm excited about the new correlation with Zena's map. I know, right?
Yeah,
that is so true. Yeah,
and a lot of people think it could be a ventilation shaft. So,
yeah. In Zena's map, you heard them say, they were talking about this last night. The whole idea of the December triangle came up again, or the God triangle, or so was it just a marker? Maybe. I mean, I don't think so, but I think it's much more than a marker to make this bed out of there for it. But yeah, I like that. A big giant,
the stone is the marker.
Yes,
it's marking what's underneath it.
Yeah. And I mean, could it be Sir Francis Bacon's burial underneath? I don't know. Anyway.
Could it be?
Could it be? Jake. Yeah. So here we got Alex. He jumped in there to help pull out one of the stones, and you saw the effort he was taking. It did finally pop out of there. And you can see right here on the stone, that section right there where the mortar was, cementing it into place.
Oh, yeah, she's caked in there. No question about that.
Yeah, so this wasn't just happenstance, folks, that this dirt happens to look like mortar. And the different layers. And she talked about different layers of different types of mortar. And I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, there's a look at the hole. Look at that, where it was sitting, that rock right there. I mean, this is a very fine material there, almost a dust. And there you can see some different pieces. Look at right here in between these rocks. That's how a guy stacking rock on the side of a house when you want to cover the block
the
wall.
stonemason or whatever. Yeah,
that's how you would do it. I've done it myself, and that's how you do it. I mean, it's not that hard with today's stuff. You can actually do that pretty well. I can't wait till they get it dated. That's what I'm really looking forward to, is getting it dated. But the types of material, she said one on the one level, and help me with the levels. I don't remember. I think she said on the bottom, it was a type of a mortar. It was very fine.
The fine stuff was on the bottom, and the blue clay stuff was sort of mid structure.
Yep.
And the cement like stuff, what you say was on the north end? North end, yeah.
Yep. And then that cement, the third type, the very cement type, like lot 5. So they're going to be connecting this all
blue
up.
Clay like the money pit.
Yeah. Yes. And the blue clay, the same, like the money pit. And Ian is checking into that. And he's having that scanned, and they're going to see if there is a match. We've talked about this many times, talking about how the Western drumlin is different from the Eastern drumlin. The makeup of the material, the soil that's there, it's different. It's not the same type. And so when you find a matching type from one end of the island to the other end, that's significant. Why would you bother hauling dirt all the way from one end to the other?
Well, here's some speculation for you again. Seth got me thinking about this when he talked about recipes last week.
Recipes.
Okay. So you've got clearly 3 different types of cement, mortar, sealant, whatever you want to call it, being used. Recipes change over time. You're going to get the materials where you can get the materials. If you were going to seal all that whole thing at once, you wouldn't travel all over the island. You go get a bunch of stuff to make your cement, make your mortar, whatever. You'd have one recipe.
Yep.
The only reason you'd have more than one recipe is you were there more than once.
Yes.
And different people were there more than once.
That's a fantastic point.
How's that for speculation?
That's really
I like it.
And they had to seal it when they were done.
Yeah. Yep.
So they used, whether it was from lot 5 or from the money pit or from whatever source, but you wouldn't make 3 different recipes if you only did it once. You'd make one recipe, you'd do the job, and you'd be done.
Wow. That's
Right.
pretty.
And these recipes are in different spots in the hole. So somebody was there 3 different times, in my opinion.
Wow. Well, and that's one of the things that is becoming more clear. And they talked about this last night too, was the fact that, excellent speculation, Tom. That was Rick there. That made it very clear that even if it were the Templar, and now we talked about the Templar, if you go back and if the Templars actually started making an appearance at Oak Island back in, let's say, the 1100s of some sort, back when they formed and things got going for them. And, I was thinking about, we were talking about this in Discord last night. If and I'm going to follow the Jerusalem files here a little bit, but if the Templar had all their religious relics and a lot of treasure, and they wanted to take and get it away from the Vatican, the Catholic Church or whatever that, and they wanted to bring it over, are they gonna load it up on a ship and just take off without knowing where they were going, or how they were going to get there, or where they were going to stop when they got here? I don't think so. They would have been going to somewhere they had already investigated and knew. So if they were making this stopover in different times and started coming here in the 1100s and started making their way to when they were then hunted down in 1307, and then beyond when they started changing their names. If they kept coming back over here, there you start to get your different times that people would have been here, like Tom was just saying.
Yeah, and Tara makes a good point. With different nationalities have different recipes.
Absolutely, as time goes on.
Well, I mean, you can look at a road in the swamp and say it was most likely Portuguese.
Yep.
There's recipes for building things, so why not?
Yep.
For mortar or cement or whatever.
Yeah. Exactly. So that whole not just multi-generational, even if it was Templars and then maybe Vikings and Templars and then descendants of the Vikings as they changed, and I mean the Templars as they changed over time.
Portuguese, British, Bacon, you name it. These guys were all floating around, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And they had connections with people who had knowledge of how to get to the New World.
Yep.
And then there's this, I'm sure that they're looking to the heavens and appealing to God to show them where will we take this place. And lo and behold, everything aligns and seems to point to this seemingly insignificant island off the coast of, Nova Scotia. But so I feel like everything seems to kind of all confirm it. Like, not only did they have the material knowledge and ability, but there's the heavenly connection as well that would have seemed to have been like a beacon for them. Like, this is where we're supposed to go.
Yeah. I mean, when you think about it, try and find one other section of land that is less than a mile long. I don't care if it's an island or not. Find some other section of land that's less than a mile long and say, what would the island be? Half a mile wide, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, roughly.
Maybe, right? That's got this much stuff going on.
Yeah, nowhere. Yeah.
You have to go to the Great Pyramids to find action like this. I mean,
yeah. And Marty talked about that too. He asked that question of some of the locals, I think Laird and Ian, and said, would you take all these other islands, and there's 300-400 of them there in that whole area around Mahone Bay and surrounding area. Of all those islands out there, do you think that any of them have all the artifacts that they found, like on Oak Island, over the generations from, early days, 900 on, all the way up to the 1900s? I mean, no, I don't think so. I don't think you would. No. Not like the things they found, but so
they just keep finding more.
And yes, they do. David Neeson said, remember, 1178, a year we remember, in quotations, Journal of Templar suddenly went to retrieve stuff. So, I mean, is it, I think it's very, very likely that they knew all about Oak Island long before they ever brought any actual treasure.
Oh, yeah.
I think they had an occupation on Oak Island for a long time. And Lot 5, we're going to get to this in a little bit, may well have been the start of something like a church.
Seems that way.
Well, we'll get to that as we go along here. But I will, and also, Tom and I and Seth, when we're reviewing the show, I watch it for the first time just for entertainment purposes. Then later on, I go back and start getting everything prepared and get my notes put together and reading through Jan's synopsis and getting all the stuff together. We're always looking in the background. On the third time through the show, I really start looking at the background, what's around. And I posted this one from last week's show on our Facebook group, and I thought I would bring it up today. You might have saw a shot of it a moment ago. This is a rock. This edge of this, where the question mark here is the edge of the hole where the boulder was sitting. And this rock is just sitting there on the ground, moved aside. And I don't know what that is. It's hard to tell. It almost looks like I don't know. They haven't mentioned it. Of course, they haven't talked about anything else except what's underneath that boulder.
Well, I mean, it's a cross or a bird.
It's like a shield.
Or a shield.
Yeah, kind of weird looking, isn't it? I mean, if
it
was really important, it wouldn't just be laying there like that, I don't think. But I mean, I don't know. I saw it and I'm like, wait a minute. It was on a scene where you had Rick and Peter Finetti were there, and they were talking with Fiona. And I looked over, and there it is in the background. I'm like, what's that all about? I don't know.
It certainly is a weird looking rock.
It's a weird looking shape of a rock to begin with, and then that whatever it is on it really looks odd. I don't know. Anyway, But, you know, we know that they've done a lot of extensive work around this feature. So, you know, while we're watching them slowly start pulling the rocks out of the bottom of this thing, we're starting to get more and more. We hopefully will get more information about, you know, like what we saw, like what looked like a triangle on the top of the boulder that I
Mhm.
think is only really truly visible from a drone shot. I don't know that you would actually see that triangle if you were standing right next to or leaning up against the rock, checking out the
No,
top. You might,
I
I
don't
don't
think you.
know.
I mean, you might.
Yeah,
Well, if you knew what you were looking for.
if you knew what you were looking for, yeah. Once you see it in that shot, and that's what I used for the thumbnail in that one show.
Mhm.
Once you see that, you can't unsee it. It's like it's there. That's all I see when I look at that rock now. So, yeah, maybe it is. Maybe it's just a leaf or something laying on it.
That's
I
one
don't
big
know.
honking leaf.
Yeah, that's I. It just caught my eye, and I
Yeah,
wondered if anybody else had noticed it.
I got to go back and look, get a closer
Yeah,
look at it.
it's an interesting little feature, whatever it may be. All right. So let's see. Did I have the Fiona is going to be she's going to start to do a bisecting of the whole feature. She's going to take the rock, the cradle, and cut it in half and bisect the whole one side of it. And
Yep,
like when they put that hole in the middle of the stone road down in the southeast corner of the swamp,
yep. You got to
they
figure out how it's made, right?
yeah, right. So we'll get to see that as the show goes along. So I'm really interested in that. And getting a date. I think all those different concretes that she talked about are going to help us get a
I think
date.
they are.
Yeah, that's what I think is really important. I got to know when, and then you can start to put together
You
a
can
little bit of
tell. You can tell from as Seth calls it the recipe,
yes,
right? The recipes have changed over time
hmm
for the preparation of
Mhm.
concrete and mortar.
hmm yep,
So, I mean, like the 1967 Becker drill program one, the Canada Lafarge looked at it. They looked at it and go, okay, this is the way they made concrete back in the 1600s,
right,
right? So there's definitely recipes for it.
yeah, absolutely. There's been those two that have talked about how this rock could have been put in place. Was it dragged in place? Did they build this cradle and then drag it and cement all this rock in there and then drag it in? Boy, that would have really. I mean, a 40-ton. I mean, a 40,000-pound boulder. You're gonna do some crushing of stuff. Uh, Nonetheless, did they roll it into place? How did they get it here? Well, I got an email from one of the viewers, Richard Chamberlain. I was like, boy, that name sounds familiar. Richard Chamberlain sent me an email, and he had an idea of how it could have happened. And I thought, hey, this is just as viable as any. And his idea was that they filled it with, during the winter months, they filled it with water and let it freeze. And then while the ground was frozen and the water was frozen in this hole, they would slide the rock along onto the ice, and then as the ice melted, the rock slowly set itself into place. I think it's just as viable as any. I mean, I don't know, but
No reason it wouldn't work. I don't think.
no. I mean,
Hmm.
with that ice, if it was frozen solid, that 4-foot hole, and winters used to be a lot colder than they are now. I think,
Oh, yeah, you'd have no problem freezing that in Canada.
yeah,
None.
you could slide it into place, let the water melt, and then drain down and settle that boulder right into its spot. Right?
Mhm.
I don't know. Is it possible? Sure, why not?
Why
So
not?
anyway, thank you, Richard.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Yeah, good stuff. All right. Let's jump over to the money pit, shall we? This was a good time, I thought. They're back on TPF one, Top Pocket Find One, that they had to step away from. That was the first caisson they got started with when they started the caisson program this season or last summer. And this is the one that got bound up. They had to stop. They had to wait until they got the parts for the oscillator so they could put the oscillator on and get it moving again. They finally did all that. They got this thing working, and that's right where that I 9.5 was, where they had a large concentration of precious metals in the water samples. So that was a good spot. They were talking about how when they drill down and they mentioned this several times. The big part about the caissons this season is to go deeper than they ever have before, which is something that Tom and I have been crying about. Go deeper. You're not going deep enough. To get through that bedrock layer into the solution channel. And so that's what every caisson they're putting in this season is designed to get down into that solution channel, because that's where they believe the treasure has fallen due to collapsing. Now, we know that collapsing has happened on the island or in the money pit several times. It was recorded in old days and recorded.
Spooner heard it last year, as far as I'm concerned.
Spooner heard it last year, so it is a real thing that there's been some collapsing going on down there. And this was just a picture showing, what it looked like when the caisson is getting down to. You heard Terry Matheson talk about a ledge, the bedrock ledge. So he's envisioning something like this, where they're on the edge of something and they need to drill down into that and get down into the solution channel. So that's what that's a picture of. This right here on the edge of this caisson, this is the TP Top Pocket Find, TPF1. They pulled it back up, and you can see this. There's a close-up here that Tom grabbed this one here. The steam coming off that thing because it got so hot.
Pile of heat, friction.
That's a lot of heat. Yeah, it is. And you can see that that gypsum just caked onto it. Look at that stuff. I mean, it's once it got grounded up, got it hot, and then mixed it with water, boy, it did make a...
And keep in mind that, you take a piece of hot metal, stick it in cold water, and in a matter of seconds you can touch it, right?
Yeah.
Well, they just brought that up from 150 feet underground through probably 100 feet of water and muck, and it's still smoking.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's how hot it gets down there.
Yeah, it's amazing that it does get that hot. I had never, I never really thought about it until I saw that, and I saw the steam rolling off from it. I'm like, man, that's it's getting building up quite a bit of temperature.
So they're putting some pretty serious pressure on that thing, pushing
Yes,
down
they
too,
are.
right?
Yeah. And so Maria Vandermolen. Yes, I did catch that. So did Tom, and I'm sure Seth and everything. But and here it is. Here's the first one.
The drill pipes.
Yeah, the drill pipe. These are that looks like I don't know if that's a 6-inch casings.
Looks pretty close to it.
It looks pretty close to a 6-inch casing that they put down. That's one piece that they showed. And this is obviously, look at the threads on it. I mean,
threads on it. Yeah, that's fairly modern. I'd consider that modern.
Oh, definitely modern. That's definitely modern. And they've been, how long have they been drilling holes in the money pit now with the 6-inch?
I couldn't tell you. They've used so many different sizes. Yeah, they've used so many different sizes. And to snap one of those drill pipes is not uncommon.
Yeah.
They've been breaking them down there for 100 years.
Yeah. And then they just have to start over. We've talked about how the drills walk based upon it's going to follow the path of least resistance as it's going down. So if it gets to a rock or something, it veers off a little bit. And now the next thing you know, it's heading off in a different direction, which is why that they actually run the gyro down every single borehole so they can see just where did it walk. So they know about that. But this one obviously broke off. We never heard about it during the season. We don't hear about a lot of stuff.
Yeah. I wonder if that's one of the ones they left behind for doing test samples.
Oh,
and they cut it off.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe so.
Hard to say. I mean, I don't know, but yeah, to me, it's not surprising that they would pull something like that up.
Right. Yep. They did eventually switch over to the hammer grab to pick up a few things down there that they were looking for, and lo and behold, they got another chunk. They didn't really show that either. And I have another picture because there was a couple people that had mentioned, my wife among them, had said, "Hey, did you see that the hammer grab when it came up?" Here it is. Let me show you this right here. One of the pictures, the hammer grab came up, and it had something, and that might be.
That's the pipe.
Might have been. That was the first one they showed coming out, but it was a quick shot, and we never heard anything else about it. And I said, "No, that was water pouring out of it." She goes, "No, I think it was something hanging."
Good eye.
Good eye. Good catch. The fishing's good.
Yeah. There was somebody, I think it was maybe Maya in the Discord, had said the same thing. There was that one had something on it, So there it is. But yeah, it's a drill casing from previous drilling. That's exactly what it is. So.
I saw in the chat RT Rowan about the recipes. He said, You know, Tom, rather than being, there we go.
Mm.
I thought this was a good one to go back to that.
Yeah, rather than being present 3 times, the third of the 3 recipes could have 3 purposes: waterproofing, strength, etc., or have
Yep.
ceremonial purposes. You could be right, just pointing out other explanations. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yep. No
Yeah.
reason why it couldn't be.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's why we love doing these live, because you guys have great comments and great ideas about this stuff. We're not the experts. I mean, heck, we're doing our best to try to figure out what they're doing, but thank you. That's good stuff. Absolutely right. You know, why is there different ones?
The hammer grab shots always confuse me, because with the timeline, I'm like, well, they just pulled, you know, the other thing out. When are they doing the hammer grab? But you know,
yeah,
like I kind of, this might sound awful, but I give up on trying to keep track of everything on the money pit, and then I kind of rely on this show and you guys to make me be like, okay, this is what's happening at the money pit, because the show will. I'm like, well, wait a second. We were just, anyways, y'all know I'm preaching to the choir about the editing. But.
Yeah, but no, you're so right, because they do jump around quite a bit. It's really hard
to the point now where actually the money pit activity is more the filler in the show than the actual, you know, architectural or archaeological work that's going on.
That's so true, because it used to be, you know, lot 5 was really cool, and I'm still all about lot 5. The swamp, you know, they get some good stuff in there. There she is right there. There is Christina right there. She's the one to notice that. Yep. Eagle eyes watching. Yes, we do. But it was funny. But so there it is there. And like you said, the money pit, you know, the swamp, always interesting in the swamp, always interesting on lot 5. Lot 8 has dominated the show this season, I think, because I think that's really super important. So the money pit just becoming money pit. Oh yeah, what are they doing over there? Yeah, I forgot about that.
And again, don't ever forget who owned lot 8.
Yeah,
Samuel Ball.
Samuel Ball. Yes, of course. Yep. I know. So so there's the other piece of that drill, and you can see this happened to be the actual the cutting head. This piece here was. You can actually see it right there on the edge. That's the cutting head. More to come on that in a couple minutes. So anyway, so they do a little bit of wood. You know, this. Oh, thank you, Joanna. I appreciate that very, very much. Thank you. Very nice of you. Always appreciate you supporting the show. That drill bucket, the one they've been using on the
recovery bucket, I call it.
Recovery bucket, yeah. That thing grinds you. We've seen what it does to the wood. It grinds it up into mulch. And this one almost became mulch, but I'm glad it didn't, because they pulled this out of there. And you can clearly see that it's been cut. There's no doubt about the fact that piece has been cut. They did go over and do the water test. You don't see it there because it sank. That's where Dan Blankenship always said, the older the wood, the heavier it is. It's
waterlogged, right?
It's waterlogged. Yeah. It's been down there a long, long, long time. So that was his first test to get an idea of how old the wood is. They can always do dendral, or not dendral on that, I think, but they would have a way of dating it. Carbon dated. C14. Yep. And that would be interesting, because at the depth that piece is, there should not be any searcher wood down there. Anything from 1795 onward should not be there. It shouldn't be down in the solution channel. So then later on, there's another look at that piece there with the cut end. I think they actually found another piece later on. 2 pieces, yeah. And this here, I grabbed this shot here. This is while Gary was metal detecting. But they did actually, I was looking at the consistency of this. It's like clay. It's like wet hunks of clay that they pulled out on these. This would be the material that's sitting on the bottom of the solution channel. It's a buildup of the solution channel ceiling falling in, or whatever. They say it's underneath so the ceiling would be the
gypsum.
The gypsum, right? The bedrock would be above it as a ceiling, and then they got to drill through that to get in there. But this would be the muck, some of the heavier stuff that's sitting in the bottom.
There's a mixture of mucks and broken rocks in there,
Yeah. So they did find this other piece of wood, and I am looking at my picture. Oh, I do have another picture of it as we go here, but I just wanted to grab that picture there. Then we see that Gary is over doing his metal detecting, and he finds a piece of iron. He called it iron, coming up as some sort of possible iron, probably at 193 feet. I mean, that's again, there's no reason for a piece of iron to be down that deep. I really want to see what this is. I can't wait to see what they. Hopefully, we'll get to see it. And we don't always, when they find something, we don't always get to see the analysis of it. But I hope we do on this.
Well, if it's iron, they should at least be able to determine, the type of iron that it is.
Yeah. So if this stuff comes out to where it's dates of searchers, we know this proves collapses have been occurring into the money pit because there's no documentation of searchers getting that deep. And if it dates more money pit deposit time, pre-searcher, then this proves again stuff is collapsing into the money pit, and also why the searchers could never get to it, because it was, and maybe they did get to it, but just only close enough to see it collapse.
Right. Well, and Ed, you're right. I think that you heard Marty say this with the second piece of wood also, that in his mind, this proves the collapse scenario, that it did collapse.
No question. Yeah. No question at all.
Yep. And down into the solution channel, which is why they're finding this wood, why they're finding these pieces of metal. So it kind of proves his theory on that whole thing. It does kind of look like a caster wheel. I know, that's what I thought too. I was looking at it. Kind of looks like that bearing that they found at one time in the swamp. Yeah.
It's
pretty funny. So yeah, and then there were some other artifacts laying on the table as they were going on with this particular TPF caisson. And so I grabbed this picture because I wanted to get a look. Now, this thing right here, I think, is the other end of that one casing, drill casing, where we saw the male threads. Well, obviously, when it snapped or something, it probably broke off that piece of the female threads on that side there. I think that's what that is, a broke off chunk where it threads itself together. What this other stuff is, not really sure. Some of it looks like rock, but some of it looks like other pieces of metal, like this thing here. This here looks like, but these could be pieces of the pipe all broken.
It could be all mangled pieces of pipe, yeah.
Yeah, Very well could be.
Brown or reddish pieces there. The one that's sort of sitting back by his hand.
Yeah, right here.
Looks like an axe head.
It kind of does, yeah. Yeah, it sure does. So different kind of things to find. Hey, Craig, there's Craig. He joins us in Discord every week. Talk Pocket Find 2, $10. Thanks, Craig. I appreciate you. Yeah, he likes to hang out with us in Discord, as we talk about and watch the show and stuff. It's a lot of fun on Tuesday nights. We got quite a little gathering in there of people that hang out and talk about all kinds of stuff. Then, yes, here's that other piece of wood that they found. And you heard him talking about how it was in drier soil. It doesn't look like it when it's sitting there in the muck in the bottom picture at 195 feet.
Just above it there, where it's that you can see that darker soil. That's dry. That's what it was embedded into.
Yeah, exactly.
See, it's not shiny. See, the stick's laying there, but this piece of soil above it is dry. It's not shiny. There's no water in it.
Right. Yep. Look down, Tim Adson. Look down in the bottom of the description of the show, and you'll see the link. There's a link for the Discord server down there. Yeah, you can join up with us. We hang out. Not always do we stay on topic. Sometimes we're talking about food or the weather or whatever's going on, but we try to keep it to talk about the show. The previous we hang out and talk during the reruns of last week's show and the week before. And then it's all quiet when we talk during the commercials when they're showing the new one. And I'm not showing it. Everybody's watching it on their own TVs. We just jump back in during the commercials and oh my gosh, look what they've just found. So it's a lot of fun. We got a little family there that we hang out and talk about it together. So anybody's welcome to join us. But yeah, you're right. It is in a different scene or a different place, this piece of wood. Yep. And, in a drier setting. So what does that mean? They kept talking about maybe it's part of a vault or something like that. I'm like, I don't know. I mean,
yeah, to me, that's a big chunk of soil that was embedded in that's fallen to the bottom.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yes. Yes.
It just didn't, go and then settle in the mud.
Correct. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, it was embedded inside of it, and they were able to dig it out. So that's really
Yep.
nice. Yeah, there's Robert RJ. He jumped in there. He helps to moderate the channel for us. And again, folks, the Discord channel, just like our Facebook group page, it's for people who enjoy the Curse of Oak Island show, not people who want to come in and badmouth the whole thing. So you'll be gone immediately if you want to do that. That's not the place for it. We are a group of people who enjoy the show. So I'll leave it at that. All right. So here it is out of the muck. They're getting another look at it. And look at that piece. I mean, there's no doubt about that. It's been that's
Oh,
been
it's man-made, no question.
worked by man. Absolutely. Yep. Let's see. What have I got here? Okay. So there's Gary over there metal detecting, and that's when he found that one piece. Then he found another little piece that he thought, it was whoa, what do we got here? And then he went to commercial while he come back, and he thought it was a coin or something because he saw the circular edge.
Round, yeah.
He got pretty excited about it. Yeah, the round edge, that's kind of what he found right there, that little thing right there, which turns out to be, we've seen this just happen not long ago, a tooth or one of the cutting teeth off of, I would say not off of that caisson. The caisson, I think, is a little bit different, but how about off the bottom of the 6-inch bore drill?
Yeah, it could be.
Where they got all those little buttons on the bottom of that drill head as it's grinding its way through rock and whatnot. I think it was probably off of that. And they got those pieces of the pipe laying on the table. So I think that's where it came from. I think
it's not silver and it's not gold.
Not silver, not gold. It's not the one thing that we really are, we're hoping to find. But anyway, so it was fun for a moment. We got excited before the commercial.
I like how quickly the guys I forget his name, but he looked at it and goes, "Yep, that's our button." Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
No mystery. Just he knew exactly. He knew his machine and his equipment extremely well to where if even a tiny little bit falls off, he can be like, "That's ours."
Yeah, they did the same thing last time when they found that other piece, and showed it to the guys. They're like, "Oh yeah, that's a button off of it." So, unfortunately, it wasn't what they were looking for. It wasn't the one thing, but again, still pretty cool. Still a pretty cool find. All right, so I think they met the bottom of Top Pocket Find 1. Okay, so the one before that, which was Karma 1 or K1, it came up empty. When they got down to the bottom of the solution channel, scraped it all up, brought the stuff up, didn't really find any. They are finding wood, they are finding some metal, but they didn't find the one thing, no coins, no jewelry or anything like that. So they moved to finish up Top Pocket Find. Same thing, got down to the bottom again. But I think, and I've said this before, I think they're narrowing in. I really do.
Oh, yeah.
Now they found that wood, so they're in the area of where the collapse may have distributed itself into the solution channel. So
yeah, we're only 2 caissons into the solution channel, right?
I think they're doing 5. I'm going to guess 5 this year. I know we're always wrong when we guess how many they put in. So I know when I was there in September, which is pretty close to where they are in the show right now, that they were not on either one of those two. They was up closer. It was like halfway between where they are, at this point in the season, Top Pocket Find and the garden shaft. They were like in between those two. And we know that they put one in by the garden shaft. So it's going to be at least 2 more.
Yeah, it looks like Craig guessed 4. I like that number. I'm going to go with Craig, 4.
I'm going with 5. What do you think, Tom? How many are they going to put in this year?
I'm thinking 5 is the most they're going to get in.
Yeah, could be. It's a little faster using the auger bit.
Okay.
Yeah, but we'll see. We'll see what they come up with. Got a while to go yet. All right, so next segment here, they jump over to the war room, and this is where we get to see Dr. Chris McFarlane, professor of geochemistry at the University of New Brunswick.
Which is still in New Brunswick, by the way.
I love when they said that wrong on that one show. Where did they say it was?
It was in Halifax.
In Halifax.
Yeah. Well, I graduated from the University of New Brunswick, and it's not in Halifax.
It's not in Halifax. Yeah, that was pretty funny. But anyway, so Dr. Chris McFarlane, he was able to take this. This was found a while back. They must have, I don't know if they just got the data on it. Who knows how many things that laser ablation can't be cheap to do that kind of stuff. But the laser ablation did show that the lead sodium, it was encrusted with it was lead that had a sodium incrustation on it. And he said that meant it was in the ground a very long time. Silver content higher than normal. So that's kind of interesting. Yeah.
I hadn't heard that reference before, but
yeah, I didn't either.
maybe you find silver in the same places you find lead. I don't know.
I don't know that. I would, as soon as he
Anybody
said
else know?
silver, I was like, what?
Silver mines, lead mines, are they in the same type of material?
Yeah. Anybody that would know that sort of thing, pipe up if you have an idea about that. But silver and lead being somewhat.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds kind of like what Ian Spooner was getting on his readings under the rock, under the boulder in lot 8.
Yep. Lead. Got the lead out of this one soil sample he did with that tube.
Yes, he did get a high concentration of lead. You're right.
Yeah, very high.
Then you got silver, and then you got copper.
Yeah, it was abnormal. 142 parts per billion or per million.
Yep.
142 parts per million when the average is about 14 parts per million.
Something like that, yeah.
Lead is decayed uranium, says David Henderson, which I always fell asleep during science class. So that's pretty crazy.
Oh,
which, wouldn't that kind of line up with there being, maybe they have the Ark buried under there?
Ooh, careful now.
Yeah, easy.
Not that because
don't be breaking any rock seals.
Be very, very careful. I mean, people have said, "Oh, isn't Fiona a little scared to be?" She could be simply sitting on a lead ceiling, or I'm sorry, a concrete and rock and mortar ceiling, and the thing just and she falls, 30 feet or more into a tunnel or a shaft or something. It could be. I hope not. We know she was with us, last week on the show. She joined us last week. For those of you who may not know that, she was on last week's show. Check it out. It was a lot of fun. But she was here, so she didn't fall in yet. Fabrication pre-industrial, French, UK, German origin, similar to the scalloped lead piece. And I think we got a...
Wait. What are they talking about?
Oh, you don't know what the scalloped lead piece is?
I need...
At least they didn't call it a barter token.
Oh, okay. Well, now I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. This is just showing a little rendition of what it looks like when it's going through its process of laser ablation. It takes out little chunks and it reads the isotopes and kind of gets an idea. You can get an idea of a date and where it's from by that stuff. So, because lead is something that's mined and you can actually trace it down by the lead content or the content of the lead or what comes up in the isotopes. So pretty cool. There it is. The source of similar age, Central Europe, does not fit in North America mining profile. So really cool. So they didn't call it a lead barter token. Finally, first we heard Chris McFarland, Dr. McFarland had said it was a scalloped lead piece. And then we heard Robert Clotworthy say the same thing. So finally we got past the shard token.
It is a lead shard.
Lead shard. Yeah. Thank you, Linda. Hey, we see John Edwards out there. Hey, John Edwards, how you doing?
Hey,
and Ghost of Bacon is out there. Hi, guys.
Hey, guys.
Yeah, see, Jake was out there a while ago. Yeah.
They're
spying on us now. They're bacon spies. Yeah.
Here's Pebbles. She's here with me. We're dog sitting, and don't turn the computer off. I appreciate you. Don't do that. She's doing right. But so we're really glad that they didn't call it a barter token. That was nice. Some of the other things, and this was the interesting part because we're going to be talking about Lot 5 again. They're not done with Lot 5. They just happened to, for a little while, pull the people off, the resources off to go over to Lot 8 because it was such a big deal. But as you've seen, that hole's not big enough for the two of us. So you got to get one person down there. Fiona, that's her baby now to work that out. But you go back to lot 5. The artifacts that have been found in lot 5 are in kind of in stages of time, and it's really and again, I know this is one of those things that for some people that are just looking for treasure, where's that damn treasure? This stuff means nothing to them. But for those of us that are really interested in the history of all this stuff and how far back does it go, the who, what, why, where, when, and how,
Yep.
this is important.
Mm-hmm.
So here's some artifacts pre-1795. 1795 being the date that the money pit was supposedly discovered by Vaughan, Smith, and McGinnis. Here's this lot 5. This is the arsenical. Thank you. Arsenical bronze button, approximately 700 years old. It was found on lot 5.
So that
Was
means
it
1300s.
Yeah. And then you've got all these lead beads and stuff, the 1600s and whatnot, and those. This one here, the button that was like the Malta Knights of Malta.
Starburst, they called it in there.
Starburst, yeah.
Sunburst.
This one here that they said looked just like it, which it does.
Sorry.
You're right, Tom. I mean, they said, "Oh, it looks just like that other one." No, it doesn't look anything like the other one. But
no,
it's a possible 1600s button that they found in these lead beads and stuff. 1600. So there you go. Early 1700s. Now you got the 1600s. You got these things here that are mid 1700s. These glass gemstones, possibly French. And then you've got artifacts that have gone back even further than that. You have things like the, I'm not going to say that the Roman coins mean there was Romans on the island. I'm not going to go that far on a stretch. But if somebody had, who would be the likely people that would have had Roman coins?
It would be, you would only carry those around if they still had value.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And those types of coins still maintain their value up into the 13, 14, maybe even 1500s.
Yeah. And didn't early Europeans like Franks and Holy Roman Empire, didn't they just view themselves as the Romans, the successors of the Romans pretty much?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep.
I feel like they would carry.
Yep.
Vikings,
could have been Vikings, could have been Norse, could have been Basque, could have been But somebody was on that island that deemed those coins important enough to carry around with them.
They had them in their pocket, yeah. So that goes back quite a ways as well. So that's pretty interesting. I love this shot here. Super sticker. Hey, thanks, Robert. Robert Thorpe. Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate your support. Really do. Really helps. Here we're looking at lot 5 structure towards the road that's going on into lot 4 over on the other side there. So this would be kind of looking west. They're now working. They've uncovered this whole foundation piece in the front. Now they're looking at the yard area. That's kind of this piece back here, a little bit further back. They're kind of working that area now too.
It's a lot bigger than the 13 feet they started out with.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah, I know, right?
I'm thinking, where's the circle?
Yeah, but it was a circle of stone that we know now was put in by Robert Young. He's the one that had done that just to so it saved the spot, but it really wasn't a circle at all. Turns out it's much more than that. So, but yeah. So, and you heard Laird. What did Laird say? He was like, "I want to do this whole area. I want to uncover this whole." He was talking about.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's no reason to stop now.
Heck no. No, absolutely not. Because they're finding just as many artifacts in the yard that they found in the actual structure area itself. So,
what did Laird say? There had to be a lot of activity for this much stuff to be laying around.
Yes. And over many years, which is why we were showing you all of these things. There's the Roman coins that were found too in lot 5.
The way Laird talks about it, he talks about it, I think, more or less there's an occupation post 1750 and at least one occupation pre 1750.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So this is a big deal. Yeah, Laird portrayed it as a lawn party site. Yeah, David Henderson Banks. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he certainly did. Maybe the U.S. funded the Revolutionary War with Roman coins. I mean, there might have been a few in there. I don't know. That's but I'm still a believer. I kind of like the Revolutionary War funding from the treasure that
as an aside to that, we can go into that now if you want.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's a little story that Tom told.
I was reading an article by a fellow by the name of Andrew McLean, who has his own site and business called Backyard History. And he does a lot of local maritime history, very well respected fellow. And we always say, okay, well, with these, did the British or did the Americans come up here to try and recover coins or gold or metal or silver, or is there any proof they were even here? Well, back in 1775, a fellow by the name of George Washington sent 2 American warships up the Atlantic seaboard their mission was to intercept British ships, to steal the guns and arms and things off the British ships. Unfortunately, they hit a storm off the Atlantic coast here off Nova Scotia, and one of the ships lost its mast. So they had to put in for repairs. Now they put in for repairs, from what I was able to find out today, up sort of around the Caisson Causeway area of Nova Scotia. So just up past Halifax a little bit. But I guess the important thing of the story is that they were here. They were here under George Washington's direction, and they were looking for stuff. So which means they had to drive right by Oak Island each and every time.
Yep.
And they would have had to have known where it was and what it was about.
Yep.
So if you're wondering, the old story, well, did the Americans come up here and actually look for treasure? Did they even know how to get here? Well, they definitely did, because they were sending their own ships up to try and pirate other ships. So they definitely knew.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's an awesome story. And it's not one that I had ever heard before. Tom was telling us about this in Discord last night, and I was like, what? So, I mean, we know that they were all involved, with the founding fathers, I'm going to say, where many of them were involved in Nova Scotia at one point early on.
Yep.
When it was under French control, I think. But when the British took over, then, of course, that's where the whole Revolutionary War was all about. 1775 was just before. No, it ended in 1775, didn't it? The Revolutionary War.
Yeah.
So anyway,
the two ships, if you want to look them up, one was named the Franklin and the other one was named the Hancock.
Franklin and the Hancock.
Yep.
So I'm gonna have to.
Two familiar names for you.
Yeah. Ghost of Bacon. What do you think about that? Huh? You said very cool, Tom.
Yeah, I think in addition, financing. Yeah, maybe they finance. I think it was more so they wanted the artifacts for the perceived power. They're starting a new nation, and with the approval of God, and they would want, if they know, okay, well, this territory, because didn't they want Nova Scotia and that part to be one of the 13 colonies?
Yes.
Yeah. So they didn't get it, and they know, okay, well, we can't just leave that sitting there for the British and their secret society people to take. That was meant for the new nation that we're creating. I feel like they would have to get those artifacts if they knew they were sitting there. If a guy like Washington, and these others. I think
they were all Masons.
They're all Masons. I'm just going to say they're all connected.
They are all connected. So if anybody knew that there was treasure there, or maybe religious artifacts and treasure, they would have known. And so, then they if they knew it was there and they didn't want it to fall into British hands.
No, you're going to let the menorah go back to the king.
Want to go and get it, right? Yeah. Bring it out of there. So I think that there may have been a search for, or a partial recovery prior to 1795. So prior to the mid 1700s, I think there might have been a recovery attempt. I don't know. And again, this is just me speculating.
We know 1775, which is 24 years ahead of the money pit, right?
Yep.
The American ships were up here poking around.
Yep, they were up there poking around.
And they came up and they stayed. They just didn't go up and go back. They came up and they stayed. These guys actually went over because they couldn't find the British ships. They actually went over and invaded on Prince Edward Island, invaded Charlottetown.
Yeah. Yep. There's John Edwards saying the same thing. Yeah, the 14th colony. It was to be the 14th colony, and they couldn't. So they backed off of that. They wanted 13. Why 13? The original, we've gone over that how many times? The 13, the number 13 to them. 13 on that tree, and all that.
To heaven.
Yep.
Yeah, the appeal to heaven and all that. So 13 colonies. They needed a 13 colony. So what they do, they took the state that was Vermont and New Hampshire, split it in two, and called it 2 states to get their 13.
Interesting.
Because they couldn't have Nova Scotia because the British got it. So So, but they didn't want that stuff to fall into their hands. I don't know. Is it all true? Don't know about all that. Did they go back and get any of that treasure? But I don't know.
Somebody was there.
Somebody was there. Yeah. And there's quite a few people like Court Lindahl that believe in that too. So, and Jeff Irving. So, all right, let's go ahead and continue on, shall we? Now we're going to jump over to the lab. And this is where we get to see Mr. Carmen Legg come back in.
Nice shirt.
Yeah, nice shirt he's wearing there. Yeah, exactly. Oh, and I saw I think Linda was saying that I saw the shirt that Scott Barlow's wearing there, that OIMAS, Oak Island. I forgot what it stands for now, all of it. But it's their lab. That's the OIMAS is for the lab there on Oak Island with all the nice machinery they have. But they definitely need to get some more machinery in there at some point here. But it's made it so nice to be able to get answers pretty quickly on a lot of the different artifacts that they find, like these chains right here. And it keeps them busy, even in the off season. They got a lot of work to do. They don't work just on Oak Island. They do work for other places too. So laser ablation. Thank you. That's what it was. Linda said laser ablation. That would be a nice tool to have. You betcha. So Marty, just open your checkbook. Come on, dude. Get a laser ablation machine in there and get on that. Emma can run it. That girl can run anything. So we get, Carmen to come out. He's looking at the chain. So the solution channel depth, it was down in the solution channel, was found on both pieces were found in the wash plant. And you heard Carmen say that they were definitely made by two different people.
One who knew what he was doing.
And one that was just banging metal together to get a chain put together real quick. Probably an apprentice maybe or something. It was kind of funny the way he stated that. Of European origin, in late 1600s.
1600s.
Yeah, late 600s. That's going back.
No.
Late
I'm not that good.
1600s to the mid 1700s. So,
yeah, you picked up on the typo. See,
yeah, yelling at you. Yeah,
barking orders.
Yep. So he was talking about these two chains, and he talked about the fact that now these chains could have been used to pick something up out of the money pit area. They were found deep in the solution channel, folks. That's significant. Was it part of the collapse? Probably. Yeah. That happened to get these two pieces down there, but rather than wrap around a chest, and there's where Doug jumped in. Doug became the Gary or the Jack jumping out there. It could have been a chest. It could have been around a treasure chest. Well, okay, yeah.
I mean, the wear suggested, that it was wrapped around something.
Yeah,
it could have been used to lower timbers down into the.
Bundle timbers and lower them down in the hole, or bring
baskets, people,
out of goodness the hole. Knows. Yeah. Could have been used to bring things out of the hole. After they went back for a recovery for a dual withdrawal. He talked about how this one was bent and how it was wrapped around a pin or something, probably. Yeah.
It's worn flat. Look at it. Yeah.
Yeah. And it is. It's look at that. You can see where these chains are not only are they very old, but they were very used. They very well used. Yeah.
That one there's seen some use.
Yep. So that was pretty cool. I was pretty happy to see all that. And then with the date range.
Why do all these guys always look like Alex to me? I don't know. I don't see it right now necessarily.
Well, he's Phipps, right?
Phipps. During the show, though, when they flashed this guy, I thought, was that Alex?
Yeah, that kind of looked like Alex. Yeah.
Yeah.
He put a white powdered wigs on.
Yeah. But that one Phipps one especially looked like him.
Yeah, that definitely looks like him. That's for sure. This, of course, being Duke Donvie and in his expedition. This is right up Doug Carl's alley. Doug is going to be speaking this year at the Oak Island Convention in June. Doug will be there for us. He's going to be presenting, so I can't wait I don't know if he's going to be talking about Duke Donvie or not, but these are some of the pages from the ship's log that were written from a ship's log, copied down from the ship's log. and talking about how they were to dig a deep pit, from the ocean and go in and bury this treasure that they had, or not treasure. It was actually funding, wasn't it? Funding.
Yeah, it was. It was. Well, I mean, we would call it treasure today. Yeah, it
Yep. Oh, absolutely. Yep.
wasn't
But,
artifacts. It was. It was loot.
yep. Yeah. So
That a deep pit be dug, and they devoted, what was it, 200 men to it or something? Like, it was a
Yep,
crazy
yeah.
number of people.
Yeah, you were reading all that last
Yeah.
week. So
Yeah.
So, is it possible that, and that's what I thought about that too. It's like, you know, th- there's stories that go back about Sam Ball finding stuff. There's stuff going back about maybe the Vaughn Smith and McGinnis finding some treasure, a little bit of treasure, and having all of a sudden they became very wealthy and started lumber mills all over the place, and how all of a sudden these people, Sam Ball, one of them, became very very wealthy. So Anthony Vaughn,
Anthony Vaughn
Gray.
bought
Yeah.
out his brother Daniel in
Yeah.
1796. Daniel came over to New Brunswick here, just a few miles from here, and became one of the wealthiest people, shipbuilders, lumber industry.
Yep.
He became one of the first millionaires, if you want to call him that, in New Brunswick.
Yeah. So
Cool.
how did they come by this great wealth all of a sudden? So did they find, I think, and there's been others that have said this too, that there might have been multiple deposits on the island in different places.
Quite
So
possible.
did,
I wouldn't be surprised.
yeah, but that's just seems so weird. Of all the islands out there, why this one? Is there treasure on other ones? There might be. I don't know. But yeah, so did the Duke Dunvey leave some stuff behind as well? He could have. All right, lot 5. Lot 5, they're not
Oh,
done.
with the Duke, just to go back to the Duke for a second, the reason they were there was they didn't want to sail back to France with the treasure on the ship,
Correct.
because they were going to have to come back. They were too much of a risk. They wanted to bury it, leave it, come back, and then when they made their next trip back, because the first trip was a failure, too many shipwrecks,
Yep.
they would have the loot there to use.
Yep.
That's the reason the pits were dug.
Yeah, exactly. They didn't want to take. They didn't want to lose it. They didn't want it to fall into enemy
Just
hands.
for safekeeping. Yeah.
Yeah. So, could they have orchestrated the money pit or part of it, or another location somewhere on the island? Yeah, they could have. We don't know yet, but trying to figure out the who, what, why, where, when, and how. It's really hard to work all that stuff, right? So, but yeah. So, again, going back to lot 5, let's jump over there, and then again, they're not done with this thing, and it's still producing stuff. And here you see, Laird, this is when he was talking about this whole, he wants to this whole lot 5. He wants to, and I think, and I've said this before, if you did this all the way towards lot 8, from lot 4 to lot 8, and you work this area all the way across, I think you're going to find artifacts all the way. And you may find other foundations of interest, or boulders of interest, or spots of interest along the way. I think you would. Will we ever see that? I don't know.
I think the least you would find, if you did a whole bunch of test pitches, you'd find the trail that they most commonly travel to get back and forth.
Yes. Which could have been that road that came out that they were following coming up out of the swamp and around the corner there. They were following the stone path. Could that stone path have turned and come across? It's very likely that it did. I mean, there's no doubt they found a stone path. It was hard for us to see it, looking at it from the show, watching them, what little bit we were getting and watching the dig. It was hard to really see the path, but there was a path there.
Yeah.
Did it turn and come this way? I think it might have. So Tansy, she's digging around, and this one, I grabbed the shot. This, folks, this is, we've talked about this. We talked about this when we had Fiona on the show last week. Would people love to see some sort of an archaeology show, some cameras set up, and you just get to watch them dig?
Yeah.
For 10 hours a day. How many people would watch it? I would. I may not sit there for 10 hours a day. Well, I wouldn't, but I would definitely tune in from time to time and see what's going on there. And you see them dig and scraping and scraping and scraping. And then all of a sudden she finds a little thing like this, which made me, shard. I was yelling shard, when I saw it, but I would definitely tune into something like this. From I see yes is coming up again.
Yeah, it'd be nice and relaxing and satisfying. I really sometimes I'll put on YouTube videos of people power washing or mowing the lawn or cleaning out clogged like culverts and stuff. It's very satisfying.
Why is that? Why is that so satisfying to watch
Yeah.
somebody come into a yard that's overgrown? Hey,
Yep.
we'll cut it for free. We'll get you all set up because it's
I love those
older folks
videos.
can't do it anymore. And you sit there for 15 minutes watching them clean up this yard. I know I'm guilty of that
There
too.
you go. Yeah, that was a good job. Yeah.
So if I can do that, I can watch them dig in lot 5. But yeah, this little thing, there she is scraping all this time to find this little piece right here, which lo and behold turns out to be, well, Laird's had a button. I don't know if it was part of a button. I know. What do you guys think it was? I mean, any ideas?
It could be for sure. I mean, it's round, but the thing that strikes me the most is we all the time say, why don't you just dig that stuff out of there? Why don't you just dig that stuff out of there? And then they take it over to the sifter. Well, aren't the holes in the sifter like a 1/4 inch? It's not a 1/4 inch screen.
Pretty close.
You would have just taken that out of there with a shovel and thrown it in that sifter. That could have worked its way right through, and you'd never seen it again.
Never seen it. You'd have never seen it.
That's why it's so important that they have to, take each piece out one piece at a time.
Yep.
With their trowels.
Yeah.
That could have been gone, and they've never seen it.
Yeah, guitar pick. Yeah, it does kind of look like a well-used guitar pick, worn down to nothing there.
Yeah, he said it was metal, right?
Yeah,
metal. Yeah.
Yeah. That's when he was talking about that one.
He was talking about the bronze button. Yeah,
arsenical bronze.
Yeah. That line, I guess, looks more like a button than a coin.
Rounded edge. Definitely had a finished edge on it, and then this raised area here.
Huh.
Obviously, this is a much bigger picture of it, but yeah. So I don't know what it's made of, but it's another interesting find. But he was going to take it over to get it tested right away over in the lab. So hopefully we'll get to see more about this particular piece. Not sure, but we'll see what they come up with. But another interesting find. And again, as he was saying, as Laird was saying, man, I would just work this whole lot. And me personally, I would go all the way to the swamp.
Well, if you look at them, there's still like a million flags all around them back there.
There he is. I know. That's crazy. It's like, and those are all things that, Gary has metal detected, but never dug it up. And they go back.
I wonder if those are any of those flags are from if Peter was back there with his little GPR machine.
Maybe.
I've thought a lot about that GPR machine this season.
Yeah, the one they
carry using it all over.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looks like a little hovercraft or,
Yep. Got the wings on it or whatever.
Got the little wings on the front. Yeah, in the back. Yeah. So, all right. Well, we're about time for Linda there. I hope she's not leaving because we're getting ready to do the giveaway. All right. We'll give you a couple minutes. Go ahead. But yeah, so let's see, we'll just jump right over and we're going to be talking a little bit about the jump here real quick. They'll be back with us in a minute. We'll get that done.
Skip over to the war room for a minute if you want.
Yeah, the war room. Oh, are you back?
Okay, I'm just going to say this to you. When you tell me that it's going to be my turn after lot 5.
Yeah, and we just finished lot 5.
And I'm trying to get ready.
I know.
Give me a minute. Just a minute.
Oh, Linda, we know you like you know that. Yeah. Yeah. That's trying to spot. All right, we're going to do our giveaway, and that is this right here again, real quick. That is this picture of Marty, signed picture of Marty, and also these 2 wine glasses that are from Mari Vineyards. It's in Traverse City, Michigan. Been there a couple times. Actually, I did a recording. I put it out as a video of Mari Vineyards. Wonderful guy that took me, Anthony. Same. It's been a while. It's been a few years since I was over there.
That doesn't sound right, but I don't think he's still there.
Oh, okay. Well, he took me on a wonderful tour of the whole place, and I videotaped it all and got a tour, and he explained how it all works. And it was such a wonderful time. Had a great time there. Mari Vineyards in Traverse City, Michigan. If you get a chance to go, it's open to the public. You can go and have some wine, and they bring out some stuff on a charcuterie board. charcuterie board.
Don't even go there.
Charcuterie?
Platter.
A platter, yeah. They bring out some cheeses and
The
stuff
other
like
thing
that.
that's interesting about Maury Vineyards is that for years they've only been able to ship to like a dozen, maybe 14 states because of all the different rules that different states have about shipping wine. And now they're only just a couple of months ago, they opened up a ton more states. There's only like 6 that they can't ship to now. So I was able to order directly from the vineyard instead of having it sent to my daughter in Colorado and having her drive it here to me.
Yeah,
nice.
So you can fill your glass that way.
So you're in the moonshining business. All right.
Eastbound down, loaded up and trucking.
Well, how much did I drink? I did have some. I had they could bring you, what do they call a flight? I think,
right.
And you have several. I had to try several of them. I think that Jacobite was one of my favorites. That's one of or troglodyte. That was
troglodyte.
Troglodyte was one of my favorites that I really enjoyed. It was good stuff, and you could buy Oak Island T-shirt, or they had some different things in there for sale. Anyway, for our giveaway, you must be a member of our Facebook group page, The Curse of Oak Island and Beyond Skinwalker Ranch. And then Linda will put up the picture like this here of what the coming week's giveaway is in Facebook. And all you have to do in Facebook is to comment yes in there to be eligible for it. And then your name will get added to the spinneroo that she's going to do here in a minute. And you must be present at the podcast to win. We'll call a name out when we get it. And if you don't pipe in within about a minute and say you're here, then it's going to move on to somebody else. So
you have to type in shard.
Yeah, that's well. Hey, if anybody's wondering why we're doing that, it's because when we had Fiona on last week, she said they find so many pieces of pottery that whenever they're doing now, they're like shard. They just yell out shard. It's become their call. So so we're kind of stuck on that now. All right, are you ready, Linda? You want to do the spinneroo?
I am ready.
Did I miss saying anything? Giving anybody any details?
I don't think so. Right. If you've already won once, you can't enter to win again until the finale. So that's like 5 weeks from now.
Yeah. Bill Burns. That's what shard is. It's from Fiona in the archaeology team.
Yeah, he's been away. He's not up to date. I'll have to catch him.
Yeah, catch him up.
Bill has been
someplace warmer than here.
Vacation.
Yeah. All right. We'll get you up in solo layout. All right, let's have at her.
Spin that wheel.
There we go. There it goes. All right. Let's see who our winner is for tonight. We took 3 tries last week to find out who was actually here. Oh. Susan Mitchell. So let us know if you're here, Susan. No whammies.
No whammy.
Giselle, it's 1 per season until the finale.
Mm-hmm. Everybody can join back
and then
in.
Everybody can jump back in.
Yep, exactly. So Susan, let us know if you are here. We'll give you a little time to pipe in and let us know. But yeah, these and I said this just about every show I say this, but it started off with people donating things to us. And who is that picture from, by the way, Linda? I'm sorry I didn't mention that. The picture of Marty, the signed picture of Marty.
Michelle Tomeyer.
Michelle Tomeyer, thank you, Michelle. And the Marty and those glasses from Maury Vineyards are you? Yep. All right. Yep. And I think I had a couple of them floating around here somewhere as well, but have we heard anything from Susan yet? Not yet.
No, and I don't have her on my list as being some other name.
Yeah, having a different name than you two.
Yeah, we don't want to take up the whole evening.
No, we'll give her a couple more seconds here, but yeah, so you got to let us know pretty quickly. It's a 15-second delay, I know, from what we are saying to when you guys respond. So, yep. Looks like Pebbles is wanting to go outside again. Took her out before we started the show.
Marty, all you have to do is watch Thursday at midnight Eastern time. I will post something that says giveaway in great big letters, and then there'll be a picture of it. And you just go comment yes below.
Yep.
So that's how you find it.
All right. Well, nothing
Okay,
from
here we go.
Susan. All right, let's
Spin that wheel
again.
again.
Part 2.
So many names there. We started off, there wasn't nowhere near that many names.
Nope, there was only like about 20, 25 people.
Yeah, it's funny. Ernest, oh, it kind of whited out. I can't see it.
Ernest Macabre.
Ernest, are you here? Let us know you're here.
So Giselle was super close.
Yeah, then we could get on with this next part of the show, which is the star alignments. That is like,
Yeah, that part that I don't have any clue about.
I know. I get so, yeah.
Ernest is usually here.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Ernest. All right. Let's know you're here, please.
Mess
So
with-
close. I know. I saw,
Yeah, you just
saw your
missed
name
it.
go by.
No.
Oh, well, if we have to spin again, you might get it this time. I know. I recognize so many names as they go by. I'm like, oh, that person's here all the time. That one. Oh, there's another one. Yep. So, well, I tell you what, we do appreciate all you folks tuning in with us each week to go through all this. We have a good time. Right between both. Yeah.
All right.
Oh boy, are we gonna have to spin again? Yet again. No Ernest.
Yeah, I think
We're
so.
gonna come to a point where if you don't show up, even though you know you're supposed to be here to win, then we're not gonna let you enter next week because this takes forever
Yeah, it does. When it
in
gets
the
like
middle
this,
of the
it does.
show, and that's really not fair.
Yeah.
Well, I have fun talking
All right.
to you, Linda.
All right. Yeah, we get to hang out with Linda for
Yeah.
a while.
It's
Yeah.
a
I
fun halftime.
know.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Third
Yep.
time's a
Yeah.
charm. Spin
Marty.
that wheel.
Poor Marty. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, he is usually here. That's very true.
Yeah, he really is.
He's gonna be upset that his name came up finally. Dennis Young.
Yeah.
How about Dennis Young?
You
Do you have a Dennis
you just missed there, big brother. I see.
Young? Can I be Ernest? Ned
Yeah.
says.
Sometimes when I watch live stuff on YouTube, I'll get
Oh,
off
there
the
he
live
is.
feed.
Right here.
There's
Shard.
Yep.
Hey,
Yeah,
all
he
right.
is.
Shard.
Shard. Awesome.
All right.
Congrats, Dennis.
Okay.
Okay,
Week in a
Dennis,
row.
if you will send me in a private message your address, I will get this in the mail to you probably Friday. It's supposed to rain all day tomorrow. And my chair doesn't operate in the rain. So
All right.
Fair enough.
so I will get it out to you, I promise.
Yeah. Yeah. We don't want her fishtailing out there in the
Yeah, please.
drifting.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Thank you, Linda. We
Bye,
appreciate
Linda.
you. All right. All right. Let's get on with it, shall we? Let's jump over to our favorite place, one of our favorite places, the War Room. All right. Now, in this particular War Room session, we get to see Dan Hansky back on the show. It's always nice to see Dan. And I tell you what, I've never met Dan myself, but I've talked to some people who have, and some of the people that know him well. And this man has a memory like you would not believe from what they say. He
He
knows,
lived it.
he has lived it, and he was there. If you don't know who he is, he was there back in the days of with Dan Blankenship was working with David Blankenship, and they were working the 10X and all of that. This guy knows it. He really does. He's brilliant. Yeah, there goes Jake. He's brilliant. So it's really nice to see when he gets to be back in there as part of the show again. So, all right. So what we're going to be discussing again, if you remember from last week, Charlotte Wheatley was on, and she was talking about these three churches and how, if you look at now, again, and I tried to explain this as best I could, and I actually showed some pictures last week where or Google Earth where I did my own alignments. What she was talking about with these churches is the fact that if you go from the top of the church down the roof line, that was the alignment you had to use. Okay, so you take the peak up here on the top of like this church right here. You take the roof line. Where is the roof line and the front door facing? Same thing with all three of these. So the roof line, if you took a line from those roof lines of these three churches spread out like this on the west coast of France, and they would eventually come to a point, and they all seemed to point directly to Oak Island.
Mm-hmm.
How that is possible is beyond me. How they could have done this, it can't be a coincidence. Okay.
Well, a lot of those churches were constructed in a certain alignment, right?
Yeah.
But those three churches are unique in as much as they were built around the same time.
Yeah, and they have the same saint.
Yeah. Johnny, spoken in the true words of Captain Kirk. This is damn peculiar. Yeah. The Wrath of Khan, right? Is that where that's from? The Wrath of Khan. Yeah, I know. I'm a trucker. I know.
Khan.
Yeah, Khan. So I did it myself. I took those lines from the tops of the churches following the roof line, and sure enough, they did. Do it yourself. Go to Google Earth, look up these three churches, and see if you don't come up with the same conclusion. I don't know how, but it sure does work. Now, you know that Professor Gaspani works with star alignments, and it gets even deeper. This is the part where I kind of lose my marbles a little bit with this, because it's, looking at, you got to go back in time when the stars were in a particular position in the night sky back in the 1200s, or, thereabouts, somewhere around the 1200s. You look, because things were a little differently. So you offset for the time period, and that's how he dated Nolan's Cross. Well, now he's looking at these things here, and you see him talking about Templar astronomy. And here's these churches here. So, the alignment, we found that the celestial targets identified Lot 5, and in the Charola match, these of the churches of these three churches. So again, this literally blows my mind, but here's what he's done. He's taken the alignment of the Lot 5 rocks, the foundation that they've found, and where they said the front door was, because they said the front door was over here, I believe. And they looked at the alignment of those. You got the rising of Deneb off of the side here, and then the front door and back door off the setting of Hamal and Pleiades, and the rising of Sirius. Okay, is exactly the way that the churches were all lined up in the exact same alignment, all three.
And the same as those stakes too in the swamp that he had.
Yeah, remember the stakes in the swamp?
I would like to know is if we got any floor plans of those churches. Was that Lot 5 structure supposedly representative?
I know. I thought about that too.
The structural floor plan of a church.
I haven't seen the floor plans yet, so I don't know. But man,
and it could be any one of a million churches too, right? Or those three churches or whatever. But
are there more?
I mean, it would explain some of the weirdness of the way that the stones are placed in there.
Yep. This is crazy, folks. I mean, I don't
understand it either, but it's cool.
I don't really. It is cool. Now, if they did those alignment, I mean, if they're using the stars, which we know that's how they did their alignments back in the day. Ask John or ask Jay.
That's how they traveled.
That's how they traveled. They used the stars.
That's how they built their buildings. They built their buildings in alignment with the stars.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. YouTube channel. Erling Merling has more on Bornholm Templar churches. Okay.
Yeah, Bornholm's another island and church that kind of seems to point to Oak Island. That is, it looks similar too, because when I'd heard of and looked into the Bornholm church, and when I saw these, it kind of reminded me of that circular, fortified looking church. Is very anyway. So.
Yes, as a matter of fact, Bradley Spear, we do, and they merge right on Lot 5.
Oh, where the lines, where the axis, the medieval axis is.
Yeah,
that must be it.
That must be the medieval
That's
axis.
the turning point.
Yeah, there it is. There's your astrological date of 1236 for the Lot 5 structure, based upon everything that Professor Gaspani had researched. Go ahead.
And I was going to say, so like to me, I'm not instantly thinking, okay, they built this structure in 1236. I'm thinking they were there to choose the site in 1236. And
Yeah,
maybe they
or
got
this was-
started, but
This was a site preparation trip
Yep.
yes.
prior
yeah.
to moving anything.
Mhm.
Right. I think so. Yeah. We know they didn't get disbanded until 1307, and in a couple of years following, and all of that. But so, and again, I go back to what I had said in the beginning about, would you have loaded up all this treasure and stuff onto ships and then headed out of La Rochelle without knowing exactly where you were going? You would not have done that.
No.
That would have been too risky. You wouldn't have felt that good about taking those religious artifacts and doing that with them.
Somebody would have had to have known where you were going to.
Exactly. They already had the site prepared.
It's not a matter of, okay, you guys take off and we'll catch up with you later. Right? They have to know where these people are headed.
I think they were well on their way to establishing the New Jerusalem in North America.
Yep.
Mhm.
Quite possible.
I do. I really do. And I think there's a lot of, or a few researchers that would agree with me on that. And I've learned it mostly from them anyway. So that's
Right.
what, from having them on this show and talking to us about this sort of thing. Because, the lines converge on Lot 5. When I did mine, I just came up with Oak Island. I didn't take it down to Lot 5, but they definitely hit Oak Island. And
Well, the thing with those lines is
Mhm.
they have to get you to a certain spot.
Yep.
Right. And whether you find the cairns on Lot 15 or the boulders or Nolan's Cross, once you're there, then you know what to look for.
Yeah.
And that narrows your search. Now, the fact that these things all wound up on Lot 5 to me is incredible, but
yeah,
just the fact that they get you to Oak Island is the big part.
yeah, exactly. So could this have been the start of a church? Could this foundation right here that we were wondering, what is this thing? Is it a barracks? Could it have been the start of a church there that they started building? Why not? I mean, it's as feasible as anything else,
Yeah.
right? And those lines converging on, I don't know, man. It's 1236, but again, that screams Templar. And that's exactly what Professor Gaspani, he's all in on the whole, it being a part of it. So, there he is. There was a Templar presence on Oak Island. He is convinced of it based upon all that he's seen. When I did those alignments too, and when I followed it onto Oak Island, it came across on the Isaac's Point, which is the little hook of the baby elephant's nose or whatever. But it came down. It looked to me, I didn't have Nolan's Cross laid out on my map because I was using Google Earth. It didn't have Nolan's Cross shown on there, but it sure looked like it was very close to coming down the main shaft of Nolan's Cross,
Could be.
right straight to Lot 5.
Yep. Yeah, and to Jake's point there, if you're off by a couple of feet from 1,000 miles away, you're not going to get, when you first start your alignment with that building or that church, if you're off a couple of feet, several thousand miles away, you're going to be in friggin' Newfoundland or New York or Boston or someplace. You're not going to be on Oak Island.
Yeah, for sure. So how does all that, is it a coincidence? I think not. I really have to, it gives you pause to stop and think about this, that it's, how is all this happening? How does all this line up? And going back to the 1200s, it's like, and then we know that the stone platform in the swamp was 1200s. We know the stone road was back in, in the early days. We know that I think it was the one well was going back. Everything is pointing to the fact that there was people there doing a lot of stuff in the 1200s.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
No doubt about it.
Yeah.
And and we know that the Templars traveled, they weren't just warriors, right? They traveled with their craftsmen, with their carpenters, with their astrologers, cartographers, whatever they needed to travel. They traveled as a unit.
Yep.
Right? They just didn't travel as individuals.
Right.
They
Shoe
took-
leather. Thank you,
took
Pat
those people with
McGregor.
them. Yeah, shoe leather. Yeah, they took those people with them.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. It's just, I mean, folks, again, have they found treasure? No. In the sense of gold and jewels and silver and precious metals and all that? No. But man, are they finding a treasure of changing the history books? Yes, they certainly are. And I think this is crazy. Right at the end there, as they were, or I forget where exactly it was, Tom grabbed this picture here, but
Mhm.
they've actually got a site. So was this from a site, I think?
Well, that's when they first started their presentation with Dr. Gaspani, right?
Yeah.
When they first opened up their presentation on the wall behind them.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I couldn't help but notice where they talked about, not just, France and Oak Island, but they talked about Portugal,
Yep.
Lot 5 stone feature, and the swamp stakes.
Good
Swamp steak,
catch,
yeah.
Tom.
Yeah.
So Portugal and the swamp stakes. What's that tell you?
That goes back a long time. And we
Portuguese
know
Templars.
the Portuguese have been there, right?
Portuguese Templars. The Portuguese
Yeah.
supported the Templars. The Templars fled
Knights of
to
Christ.
Portugal.
Yeah.
And the Portuguese were terrific sailors.
Yep. And the Knights of Christ, that was that was them. So yeah. Oh man, I tell you, it's really, really, really interesting stuff, folks. It really truly is. And again, I go back to the whole thing saying that the this year's big find is the boulder on lot 8. I think anyway, unless they find something in the money pit between now and the end of the season with one of the caissons, which I hope they do.
Well, they got 6 weeks left to do it.
We got about 6 weeks left. Yeah. Here we just did episode 19 out of what's usually a 25 episode season. We're down to 6. So we're going to see what they find in the money pit and what's, how much are we going to get underneath those stones that are mortared into the stone cradle underneath that boulder? I don't know. I don't know how far we're going to get. I don't know if we're going to get all the answers we wanted this year on it. Probably not, I'm going to say. I don't know, but so it's a huge deal, folks. And I can't wait to find out what it's going to be dated when they are able to give us a date of that lot 8 boulder. I don't know. What do you think, guys? You want to take a guess?
No.
Not willing to go out on a limb. What do you think in the chat?
It definitely, I'm going to say it's definitely pre-1700s, maybe even medieval.
I'm going to say it's pre-1600s.
Yeah, 1300s for me.
Okay. All right.
I think it's going to be real similar to the road and the stone platform in the swamp. I think whoever did that did this.
Yeah. Yeah.
They did expand. I mean, to somebody else's point, like there are no artifacts around that boulder.
1600s.
It's a clean site. Like it was hid purposefully.
Yeah, exactly. They found no artifacts in the boulder excavation itself. 1256. That's pretty specific. That's pretty good. I guess about the same time frame as the path. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking that it might go back to the 1300s. I don't know. Let's see.
Could very well.
1300s.
Yep. Could very well.
DD Galleon says 1300s. Prices,
and again,
right.
With the different types of mortar, different purposes for different mortars, but people there at different times.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I tell you what, we're gonna. I hope we get that date. I really hope we get that date before the end of this season. I gotta know. I gotta know what it is, because it's gonna tie in so much stuff. And again, I know I'm putting a lot of emphasis on this boulder, but I think it is really that important to this whole thing. I really do. So, guys, anything else? You got any last
nope,
thoughts?
That's good for me. That's good for me. Right. Thanks,
I'm
Jan.
good.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. So thanks, Seth and Tom. I appreciate you very much. And Linda, as always, for being the awesome administrator to this whole event and keeping us all lined up and all of that stuff. I appreciate it. And Jan doing the synopsis. We thank you so much for that. I know it's a lot of hard work, but she does that synopsis for every single show. And then we post them in the in our Facebook group page so that you can read through it. Very, very well detailed, and she does a great job. It's harder for her, I think, to do that than it is for us to.
It makes this so much easier.
It does. It really, truly does. So thank you so much for all your hard work. And thank you, folks, for being here with us tonight. We've really appreciated it. And as always, the comments and stuff have been absolutely wonderful. Well, yeah, season 8 through today. Yeah, they're all there. They're all there in the Facebook group. So we appreciate you folks joining us tonight. And again, I say, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel. And if you like the content of the show we did here for you tonight, please give us a thumbs up. And if you don't mind, if you really, really, really enjoyed the show and you don't mind coming back after we log off here in just a couple moments, go back and then hype the show. Really appreciate that. That'd be awesome. Yeah. Give us a hype. Yeah. Raise the roof, right?
Or if you have any questions you want to ask, put them in the comments.
Yeah. Any good comments you think about later on, put it in the comments. Tom and I read those, and we're trying to get Seth to go out and read them.
I read them. I don't read all of them, but I've read. I read
all comments. He only responds to the ones that said, "Oh, Seth is great." Yeah.
No.
All right. Yeah. Wait about 10, 15 minutes. Yeah. Okay. Something like that. All right. Thank you, guys. And thank you all for joining us again. And we'll catch you next time right here on the J Free 906 podcast. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Oops. Click on the right button here. There we go.